All right, so Bitcoin hasn't performed as well as many people have expected in 2024, but it's not over just yet because historically, the last quarter of every single year is the best performing quarter for crypto, especially in an election year. And if we're looking at the overall crypto market right now in terms of Bitcoin, we can see that Bitcoin is hovering just below $60,000 per coin, Ethereum hovering right around $2,500 per coin, and many altcoins are doing pretty well. Like, they're not at all-time record highs, but they're nowhere near yearly lows. And if we're looking at Bitcoin in terms of technicals, we could see that it's basically in the same exact trading range that we've been in for a couple of months now. Bitcoin has bounced pretty nicely at the beginning of August off of this support right around $52,000 per coin. Then we saw it rally back and hit this resistance right around $65,000 per coin. And then we've seen it retrace yet again. So we've basically just been trading sideways off of support and resistance for the last couple of months, and nothing has really changed. So many people are wondering, well, what's going to be the big catalyst to push Bitcoin and the crypto market to record highs? Are we going to see that $100,000 per coin Bitcoin by the end of the year? And one thing that you need to be keeping an eye out on is Bitcoin quarterly returns, because historically in Q4 of every single year, Bitcoin and the crypto market performs the best. We can see that historically the average is 88.84% in Q4 of any given year for Bitcoin in its entire history. This is the highest out of every single quarter for Bitcoin. Historically, Q4 performs the best, Q1 performs the second best, Q2 performs the third best, and Q3 is the fourth best. So it's like the worst performing quarter. So that is the quarter that we are in right now, is Q3, and historically that is the worst performing quarter. So the good news is that it looks like Q4 is going to be extremely bullish for Bitcoin and the overall crypto market, because with historical trends for Bitcoin coupled with election year, things are looking better. The bad news is that right now, Q3, it looks like the next month or so may not be the best for Bitcoin. Next thing I want to go over is going to be what's been going on with Bren Metaverse. So Bren Metaverse is ultimately pioneering real-world and virtual connections via AI, GameFi, and Web3. They are tackling a number of key sectors in the crypto market. And if you're looking at their website in terms of their overall ecosystem, they are in the gaming space, the Web3 space. They're in the artificial intelligence and metaverse space, and they are tackling a number of major industries and problems in the crypto space. They've been partnered with some of the biggest names in crypto, to MEXC, Bitmark, Gate.io, and the list goes on and on. And ultimately in GameFi, they are going to be launching their highest quality mobile game to date in closed beta within a week or so. It's going to be called Tap to Earn. They have a Telegram game where you can earn points by simply tapping on the screen, and you can see the BRN Tap Telegram game has reached 250,000 players. You can go ahead and click on the screen, get an airdrop, and ultimately join the game. So if we're looking at their token right now, you can see that the token's price has come down pretty substantially over the last couple of months. This is with the entire crypto market. We've seen a pretty big correction take place, but the good news is that they finally bounced off of this key long-term support of right at 13.5 cents per token, and it's up substantially from that. Now it's, started to break out of that downtrend, and it's geared up to continue rallying and continue pushing to potentially record highs over the coming weeks and months as we see their new games roll out, new features roll out, and as we see more and more money come back into the crypto space. So you can see that their total supply is right around that 28 million, with 25 million in circulation. And really there's a lot to be excited about with this project, with major updates, with the fact it's listed already on MEXC and Bitmart, and they have major announcements and plans of getting listed on BitGet very soon. You can see they talk about it over on X, and so this is a project that I've personally been doubling down on, and I wanted to keep it on your radar. Other thing that we need to be keeping an eye out on in terms of data is going to be the Bitcoin fear and greed index. So right now we're in that fear territory. And we talked about this in multiple videos, but if you look at the charts historically, if you usually buy when Bitcoin is in extreme fear and you sell when Bitcoin's in extreme greed, that's a pretty good way to make a profit. So right now we're not in extreme fear, but we're at 29. We're in the fear territory, and really the market's been trading sideways. Nothing much has happened, so there's not a lot of excitement in the market. So this is usually a good time to buy. Other thing that we could see is going to be that whales. Bitcoin whale accounts have been buying thousands of Bitcoin. And then a Bitcoin whale, one in particular, bought 1,000 BTC as insane Binance selling sees sub $58,000 per coin low. And this was just 8 hours ago. And what we could see is that in this report, we could see from Look on Chain, there was a whale that bought 1,000 BTC, around $60 million from the bottom, and currently holds 7,559 Bitcoin, around $450 million of Bitcoin. This whale sold 7,790 Bitcoin between June 27th and July 28th. So you can see that this whale account is trying to continue to, time the market, accumulate more Bitcoin. And it's nice to see that after selling a lot of their holdings in June, they're starting to buy back again. Obviously this isn't a sure thing for the crypto market, but it's nice to see that whales are accumulating more again. And it's not just this one whale account. We've also seen a lot of other whales buy, and we've seen actually a lot of Bitcoin millionaires created in this year. So Bitcoin millionaires have actually surged 111% in the past year. And right now there's 85,000 people who hold over $1 million in Bitcoin. And this is something that is very exciting in my opinion, because according to the recent survey, we can see that from last year to this year, the number of Bitcoin millionaires has nearly doubled. But not just that, we've seen that now there are 172,300 people around the world who hold more than $1 million in crypto. This is up almost 100%, up 95% from last year. And so this is something that's very exciting, because it shows us that people in the crypto space who buy and accumulate long term are the ones that continue to make millions of dollars. These are the people who make life-changing amounts of money. It's not about trying to time the market and buy more and sell and try to trade. It's really about accumulating solid projects long term, whether that's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whether it's just going to be altcoins. Because ultimately, these numbers show that if you are accumulating solid projects in the crypto space, you are still at an advantage, because a lot of people just aren't invested in crypto yet. And as we continue to see more and more adoption, we're going to continue to see, institutional funds and pension funds with money coming into the crypto space, which is going to push everything higher. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be in terms of that adoption, because we did see El Salvador's president came out and said, look, the Bitcoin strategy has had a net positive for their country, but adoption has been lagging. And if we look at El Salvador's wallet, currently they have around $400 million in their public wallet, and they've been accumulating this really over the last couple of years. So the good news is that he said, look, right now there's been a net positive for their plan to make a country a hotbed for Bitcoin, but adoption has fallen short of expectations. He says, look, I feel that it could have worked better. There is still time to make some improvements, but it hasn't resulted in anything negative. It gave us branding, it brought us investments, it brought us tourism, but they haven't seen the adoption of people using it as much as they would have expected. Either way though, there's been a lot more positives than negatives. And this right here in this report, in this interview with Time magazine, it ultimately shows us that, look, whether Bitcoin's getting adopted more, people are using it more, doesn't really matter. Ultimately, countries and institutions haven't really seen any negatives from adopting Bitcoin. They usually see a lot more positives rather than negatives. And so if that trend continues, we're going to see a lot more countries, a lot more institutions, a lot more people simply want to get in the crypto space as maybe even an alternative asset, maybe an alternative to Bitcoin. Maybe, it's not going to be an alternative payment source, but maybe just an alternative to Bitcoin. An alternative to gold. And so this is going to bring a lot more money into the space. And with everything going on in the market right now, with us seeing an election year, with Q4 being historically very bullish, much, I am very excited about where we are currently at in the current state of the market. And I've just been continuing to accumulate more and more of my top altcoin holdings and in Bitcoin and Ethereum.